B-roll of me going, yes! That's the first one I've ever hit 230 yards with the driver. On the Golf Minute channel, now you know I'm a 5. Uh-oh, get a good kick. Miss green.
Trackman or Toptracer? Driving ranges are nothing like they used to be nowadays, with the development of ball tracking technology being made accessible to everyone. If you head down to your local golf course, you'll usually be greeted by either a Toptracer or a Trackman bay. But which one's better? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. I'm Alex and I'll be gathering my findings on both. First up, Trackman.
As you can see here, I've got the Trackman app and we're going to log straight in. It was very easy just to get signed up, which I did, as you can see, a little bit over here. To actually log in, there's a few things that I could do, but I'm going to do the quick login. If I'm just going to actually, rather than pressing it, just doing that there by scanning the QR code. Very straightforward, very simple, similar to other things, but the interactivity of this app is really good to practice, and there's a lot of different modes. Trackman works with a radar in front of you and also behind you. We've got one out there that you can see. We've also got one right above us, which measures the ball going out. So it gives you a variation of different metrics that you also see on an actual Trackman launch monitor. Whether it's accurate, well, we'll find out now. The quick login, it's not working. So we're going to use the pin that I can see there very quickly and just get this all set up. As you can see here, a bit frustrating, but luckily enough, they've got a get around. Hello. I'm trying to sign in, and you're not letting me. Sign in. Shall I just go as a guest? Players. I'm trying to. Come on, puppy. That's disappointing. It's not working. So we're going to have to use a guest player. Now, I have used this before, and it has worked. So it's not just completely broken. But beforehand, by using the app itself, you can track your data, you can play games with friends, you can play courses as well and track the scores that you get for the courses. Really interactive, and it's really fun to play with if you have any mates. I don't. All right. I'm by myself here. Willie Woods is behind the camera, and this is now where the fun will start. So, as you can see here, we've got a lot of different things to do. Practice, games, courses, and tournaments. Tournaments are really, really fun. I like playing tournaments on the actual Trackman launch monitors. This obviously isn't exactly the same, but it still provides hours of entertainment if you are Scratch or 54, like Will behind the camera. So, practice is what we're going to do first, and you can see this on-course practice, find my distances, and range practice. Now, the range practice I think is the most efficient for golfers who are, let's say like me, maybe between Scratch and 15. On-course practice is more fun. Find my distance is dependable on what range you are at. The golf balls, which I'll show you in a second, are probably about 60–70% compression. I don't want to find out my yardages with that, even if they are normalized. So first of all, range practice right here. I clicked you. I clicked you again. Here we are now at a wonderful interactive screen that's more of a bird's eye view. So rather from above, if you're looking at other things such as Toptracer, which we'll get onto later in this video, it's more of a POV. This is like you're in a helicopter about 100 yards above me, which is quite cool. I do like that, but we'll see what the ball flight does later on. I'm going to go, well, what club should I use? 7. We're going to go straight in with a 7-iron and see what is what. You can look at here on the screen, there's some wonderful little circles. It's aiming me right at that big, fat pink circle. Pink is my favorite color, so that's very helpful. I'm gonna grab a 7 and just see what the numbers say. You can see straight away we've got carry, total, ball speed, height, launch angle, launch direction, running out of words, side and from pin. There's more that you can do as well. But on the right here is we have also got convert, view, club, and target. So there's a lot of things you can do, very similar to other ranges. Let's see how accurate it really is. 7-iron in hand here. I think my yardage, I know my yardage of the 7-iron is about 185 yards. Now, I'm going to hit 2 or so shots with this and show you if the yardage is accurate, and if it's not, something that I can do. As I said, I think these golf balls are kind of stinky, which isn't Trackman's fault. It's more just of a compression issue because, I mean, golf balls are expensive. But at the pink. Not great, a little bit fadey. Straight away, we've got actually it now coming out. So you can see that in terms of the interactivity, the responsiveness, it is dead on, but I didn't hit that well. I hit that badly, but I didn't hit it 142 yards badly. Now, if I direct you to the right side of the screen here, there is a convert button. If I press that, There we go. It goes to the much more accurate numbers that I would expect from an actual Trackman hitting premium golf balls. 177 yards carry, which is good because I didn't hit it well. I would say I lost about 10 yards. 126 mile an hour ball speed. That is very accurate. And yes, if I look at this wonderful little tracer there, I hit a disgusting little fade. So we're going to do that again, and we're going to keep this convert feature on. I like how you can turn it on and off, because I'm saying don't think the balls are that accurate. If I was wrong, if I didn't need it on, you can turn it off, which is very helpful. Let's hit one shot and let's like actually find the middle of the club face. Let's try and hit it like Scotty Scheffler does. See oh! Golf's dangerous. Right, turn. That was lovely. Did that swing look nice? It felt nice. It felt very smooth. So we're going to look at how that one goes. And again, straight away I'm looking at the screen and it is there. Dead on. Takes a little bit of time just to get it up after it lands, but accurate. 132 mile an hour ball speed. That's pretty much what my 7-iron is. I would say it might climb up to about 135 to 137 in outside conditions when it's a nice hot day, but being cold, being horrible, that's what I would say is pretty much dead on. All those numbers are quite impressive there, with the carry in total being 1 yard away from each other. I would say that is accurate. Now, we're going to quickly go on to the on-course practice. This is fun, but this would run out of enjoyment every now and again, wouldn't it? We've got some numbers, we've got some consistency, but that's enough to practice. If I want to actually go and have a little bit more of a practice session that has some feedback, well, we can go to on-course practice, which I'll be honest, I haven't done that recently, and I do need some practice. I need some practice. Hurry up. It takes a while to actually load. So although it's very good in terms of picking up the ball, I can see here that took a little bit too long. All of our brains right now are absolutely just, the attention span is ridiculous because of TikTok and short form content. After 5 seconds, I want to go and play a different sport. But besides the point, let's play at Pebble Beach. Click on this. Now it's putting us on to something. I don't know what yet. There we go. So I can look at this here, tap a flag to change the target line. Your default target line is T14. I don't want that. I want it to be T12 over at the wonderful pink circle. That's, I think I have a fascination over in this video. Let's click done there and see what it does to me. Okay, so it's giving me on-course practice. What it's looking at here, and this is actually really, really good, is this is very similar in graphics to the Trackman launch monitors that you get that are worth £20,000. Really impressive graphics that I can see here, more POV. I've used Trackman a lot and this is really good. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna move up now from a 7-iron to, should I put my driving iron out? Yeah, let's get what I like to call Big Daddy. As you can see, does it have a number? No, it just has an X because X marks the spot. Don't know if PXG meant that. But we are at the first hole here at Pebble Beach. I'm gonna change it to a 2-iron, which is what it is, and we're going to see how it reacts, see what it does in terms of the graphics, see how I can hit this wonderful Big Daddy, and see if it's actually helpful for on-course practice. Because one thing I hate with driving ranges, and a lot of amateurs will be fine, is you can go and hit 100 balls and you would have learned absolutely nothing. You have no responsive feedback. Going to driving ranges like this, you should have a horrible time. You should put as much pressure on yourself as possible, and by having on-course practice is really helpful, because I can see here if I hit this shot, I'm not going to use a tee, and I'm going to see if I can miss the fairway or make the fairway on the first hole at Pebble Beach, which is somewhat nerve-wracking. Oh, that was quite nice. Just a little, I tugged it. Okay, I'll be honest, that I turned around and it hadn't picked up my shot yet. I did just miss the fairway, I'll be honest. But the ball speed's accurate right there, and it was very, very low off the ground. You can see there with the carry of, I think, 200 yards. I say it's pretty accurate. It was a little bit low, it was a bit of a stinger, but turning around there, it wasn't responsive straight away. Is that a problem? I don't particularly think so. I think that's okay, but when you're comparing it to others, which we'll get onto later in this video, I want to turn around and I want to see it straight away. But it's not too big of a deal for me. Let's say there's a kid who's 5 or 6 years old and he's looking at that, that'll be really important, because if they don't see it, they're going to start running away and picking their nose or something like that. Come on, let's hit the fairway. It's not that difficult. Stay there, stay there. That's a better strike, but I've just pushed it slightly. I think it should make the fairway. No, I'm lying my arse off. That's straight in the rough. Not the best shot there. Big Daddy needs some work on the Trackman range. It's a little bit slow, but the graphics are very good. So we've got pros and cons there. I could hit driver. I'm going to do that later on now, because we're going to exit away from this. I think it's really helpful to do that, because I can basically see that not particularly accurate with the PXG driving iron off the fairway, off a mat just yet. I think I'm a lot more accurate off the tee. And this is some things you can work out because, yes, I could hit at the wonderful pink circle, but do you know if that's the fairway? Do you know if that's the rough? You're not sure. With this, it helps a lot. But there's many more features that we're going to touch upon in this video. I'm going to exit round and go away from this, and we're going to go on to games, which is the second feature here in all these groups. We're not going to go into tournaments. I'll let you guys jump into that. But on these games here, this is how you have a lot of fun with your friends. Unfortunately, I don't have any, so I'm going to do it by myself today. But you can see here we have got 7 game modes, which is quite a lot, and a lot of them are very different to each other. You can see we've got some that are more kid-friendly. Scrapyard, On the Edge, Magic Pond looks like it's more for kids. For some reason, On the Edge is looking at me, but once again, I have no friends, so I can't play that. We're looking at others though, such as Bullseye, Capture the Flag, Closest to the Pin, and Hit It. Let's do Closest to the Pin to see how accurate I really am and if I need to change up my irons in some future videos. We'll see about that. So once again, we've got some really cool courses, similar to the on-course practice. In fact, they're exactly the same. I'm not going to do Pebble Beach because I don't want you guys to get bored of that, if you ever could. We're going to go into something different. Now, I kind of want to click on Valderrama, but with it now playing on Live Golf rather than the European Tour, I think some of you might get rather angry with me. So instead, I am going to go to something just completely different. No, we're not. We're going to go to PGA National. Sorry, I'm boring. PGA National, Florida, myself and Will were just there. Just myself, I'm going to do this. Handicap 5. That's quite impressive. It's got that already. I put that in already. And I'm just going to press start straight up. They're all going to be par 3s. They're all going to be at the pink target again because we've got to do it in this video. And if you guys look at the screen here, you can see how this works. If I do miss the green, which hopefully we will not, we will get some increases in the overall score. Water plus 100%. I'm not going to even touch upon that. Now to bounds 200%. Okay. I've clicked it. It's not very... I've clicked it. Okay, 162 yards, and we have got the ball converter on. So this will be my accurate yardage. Now, I would say this is going to be about a 9-iron, maybe a small 9-iron. It's got a lovely little bit of wind here to make it more accurate. We're going to play a few holes very quickly and just see what's what. And I've got the 9-iron of my irons here. Let's give that a little clean. Straight at the pink. I said spoiler, a little bit left. It's slow. It's a little bit slow, but it's got a nice little shot trace that's going up at the flag. It's looking to be pretty accurate as well. That's pitched 158 yards, total 162. It's always going to be a little bit lower on ranges like this because I would say my 9-iron probably actually goes about 166, I would say. You can see there it says full, 160 yards, but that's in hot weather conditions. We are playing about 9 degrees uphill. It's never going to be as accurate as you think. It's always going to be a few yards less. You get 3 goes at this. We're going to quickly move on just to another hole quickly and just show you something different because you don't want to see me hitting it to, what was that, 30 foot for 3 shots. Carry, yes. Oh, what a shot. B-roll of me going, yes. Oh yeah. I really like the graphics. Now we go on to a hole which is a lot more troublesome. 194 yards it's saying full, but so the pin is 197 yards. So we've got a little bit of normalization on there with the wind. Now, with ball conversion enabled, as I've said, I'm going to go for my trusty 6-iron. This probably can carry about 200 yards, but we're going to have a little bit of forgiveness here with the 6, and if it goes a little bit long, as we can have a look here with this little graphics, I'm not worried about that bunker. I'm really enjoying the graphics, the quality of this screen. I'm not enjoying the responsiveness after you hit a shot for this on-course practice and close to the pin feature. It's a little bit slow. That was lovely. I've pulled it a touch, but that was a pure shot from a 6-iron. 140 mile/hour ball speed. Oh my God, it's going at the bunker. As we can have a look here with this little graphics, I'm not worried about that bunker. So my 6-iron, as you can see, is not as good as my 9-iron. Missed the green left, and I've got the score, the average of 51.10 feet. I've got a bit higher because I missed the green on the left, so it adds a bit of a score. Really like the graphics, but as I've said many times in this video, the main caveat here is it just takes a little bit of time. If you're with your mates, if you're having a few beers and a few pints with the lads, that will get somewhat frustrating. Let's see what happens though if I exit this screen here. The touch screen. There we go. If I exit around using my fat fingers that apparently don't work here. And then we go on to courses, which is the most exciting part of all of this Trackman thing. Is it the most practical? Maybe not. I think the on-course practice would probably be the best. But here, I'm going to now go on to, well, I'm now going to go on to Valderrama. Sorry, PGA Tour enthusiasts. You can see here we're going to play Valderrama. Tees Championship, of course we are. Going to press start game straight away. I'm just going to play a hole and show you guys just how it works. Now, on the tee, Alex. Thank you. And you can see here that it's given me a suggested club, which is the driver. And for this video, of course, we're going to have to hit the big dog. 271 yards is what it's saying. Well, they haven't seen me hit my new driver. Let's see how it performs. I may have to use a bigger tee, but one thing I don't like with some ranges, like this one, is I use ginormous tees. That one's a little bit small, so I might have to play a bit of a stinger. But we're going to play a fade, judging by how I'm swinging it today. Going to hit this big stick. Gonna go low. Let's have a look. Oh, really left the face open on that one. You don't do that at Valderrama, do you? Well, yeah, it's going nearly 9 on sideways. Ball speed a little bit slow. It's focusing on a tree. Oh, it's because I'm right behind it. That's gone. Oh my God, that's gone 230 yards. I mean, oh bother! I'm now right below. I've got some tree trouble. Don't really know what I'm gonna do here. I could aim. You can push it. Takes a little bit of time to do that. When it says loading screen, again, it needs to be a little bit more responsive to my liking when you compare it to others. But I think what we're going to do here is we're going to play a bit of a punch shot and try and get up and down for the heralded par. That's the first one I've ever hit 230 yards to the driver on the Golf Minute channel. Now you know I'm a 5. Oh no. I'm pin high. This is okay. I'm gonna hit a gap wedge. It recommends me a club, which is really nice. I'm actually gonna not hit a gap wedge. I'm gonna hit a 9-iron. When you're hitting these shots in the range, these little work, right? These shots, it's a bit finicky. We've got to land it about 20 yards or so. So I'm gonna take my wonderful 9-iron, which has helped me out in this video, and just hit it 20 yards and hit it low. It's gonna be deep, isn't it? Still not on the bloody, I'm still not on the green. That was great. I think the difficulty, and there's nothing wrong with this, the difficulty when you're playing on-course stuff like this, when it is those little dinky ones, is to do 20-yard chip shot when you're in a driving range. Feels almost somewhat alien, so it's very difficult to do. What it's done there is, rather than making me now chip from, 50 feet away, there is a certain buffer where it says, hold on right there, we're going to do an auto putt for you. You can see it's giving me a double bogey because essentially they don't want me to carry on and try and hit a 10-yard shot. As I said, it's a little bit dinky, but that was okay, and a double bogey is what I deserved. So, that was fun. Hit the Trackman, playing Valderrama. I eventually, after 4 or 5 holes, made a par, starting to swing it a little bit better. But, is this more fun than its competitor? Do I get more from this, its arch rival? Well, let's find out. The rival to Trackman is Toptracer, and we're going to now go about 60 miles north to... That's not supposed to be there. We are going to travel 60 miles north, up the M25, no, not to the North Pole, to the Hertzmere, and find out everything about Toptracer technology. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, good stuff. So, let's talk about Toptracer. Toptracer is the leading brand in the driving range market, with over 1,000 facilities worldwide and a global market share of 75%. Let's hit some balls at this bay and find out why. So, after we've just used the warm-up mode on Toptracer, we're now going to go over to the analysis mode, which is used by about 20% of golfers. Toptracer is very different from other driving ranges. Rather than using things like Doppler radar, we've got cameras facing away from us here. So it actually measures the ball flight and also the wind. We're going to put that to the test here with the golf balls that we've got here today. Now, these won't be things like Pro V1s or Chrome Softs. These are about a 90% flighted golf ball. So we're not going to see the exact same numbers, but to see how accurate it really is, well, we've got a GC quad. We're going to do a 6-iron and then we're going to do a driver because we all want to see that. Lovely. That's about a 9-yard difference. Yeah, a little bit. So what we can see with those 3 shots by that 6-iron is the ball speed is incredibly accurate. Average of about 1 mile an hour difference. Now, the flat carry, we've got an average of 7-yard difference between the GC quad and the Toptracer, which you may think that's a decent amount. The GC quad doesn't factor in wind. We've got quite a considerable amount of wind, downwind today, meaning that we're gaining about 4 or 5 yards on Toptracer, which is actually quite impressive for it to see. If you use some other things, such as a GC quad, something like that, when you're going into wind, you wouldn't see that at all. What this does have as well, not just ball speed, not just flat carry, we also have things such as launch angle, apex, hang time, curvature. You can find out your yardages with all of this Toptracer technology here. So you can go and hit every single club in the bag, see how far you hit your 7-iron, see how far you hit your driver. This is great if you want to fine tune your golf, if you want to understand how far you hit your 7-iron, what's going on with your curvature, how far offline it is. That's a big number. But sometimes we just want to go to the driving range and have fun. On days like today, in February, end of February, where it is about 6 degrees, it's very muddy, all courses are closed, you still want to play some fun golf. So if I exit here, I'm going to show you that there is actually a plethora of game modes for every single type of golfer. Up here, we've got all practice and play. We've just practiced. If I show you up here, we've got a warm-up, my practice, then Toptracer 12 and Toptracer 30, which we'll get onto later in this video. I'm now pretty warmed up. I feel good. Well, I feel okay. So we're going to press play and we're going to go on to some other things that we can do here. And there is an array of things to choose from, whether you're a kid, whether you are a professional golfer, whether you are me, which is just a weird person. What we're going to do is we're going to go through a few of these now. But first of all, we're going to go on to something that is very enjoyable, which I believe is going to be the closest to the pin, something that I need to work on quite considerably. Now, what Toptracer have done really well is they now have 21 different golf courses to choose from, and they are getting more and more every single year. So even though it's very wet, temporary greens, I can't feel my hands, we're going to go over to America and play on a wonderful 7th hole at Pebble Beach. This makes, I think, range sessions a lot more fun because first of all, it's accurate, but also you can play against your mates. So 100 balls, which sometimes takes an hour and a half just by yourself, 100 balls can now take about half an hour if you're doing it with 4 people, and you'll get another 100 after that. So we're going to press start here. Going to go to actually the little blue marker out there. You can see you've got an array of things to choose from here. They've got different flags for different directions. So if you hit a mean old slice, you can aim to the flag over there. Going to press on that, and we're going to do a few closer to the pin challenges and then move on to another game mode to show you guys whether you're a 36 or 3.6, it doesn't matter. There's still things to make you a better golfer, make you have fun, and just improve your golf. 87 yards, 27 foot downhill. Piece of cake. Oh. Pulled it. The thing I did thin it. Miss Green. That looks good. Oh, 6 foot. That was better. 5'11". I'd hate to be 5'11". There we go. Might be a bit deep. I don't know actually. No, it's not deep. Spin, spin. 10 foot. So 6 foot, 10 foot. Some decent strikes as well. But those are very, very accurate as well. And I think if you're doing those with mates, like, I'll be honest, I don't think that's something that I would particularly do by myself. I do something more like virtual golf, things that are more consistent of like hole to hole. Let's say you've got 4 mates that you're trying to play in winter, doing consistently are closest to the hole to get 5 foot 11 inches. Oh, I think I've got the best score at this local golf club here today. what we're going to say. We're going to go now to a different game mode, which will be a driving challenge off the tee, and it's going to show you some really cool stats. Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, 4 left. Am I going to catch a piece? No, I'm in the rough. I'm in the thick rough, mate. But if you look at my score isn't actually that bad. The recovery is the main problem here, which is actually okay. That wasn't very good. That's better. That's much better. We found the fairway. Go. Go. There we go. So now we're going to see a bit of a better score there. I imagine, there you go, 80.8. So still though, 80.8. 80.9. If I didn't top the first 2, like 50 yards left, I actually would be on quite a decent score. That's a shame. No, Alex. Oh my God, it's fading because I healed it. Oh, I toey drew it. No, it's a 17 score. A feeble end by the toe of this Cobra Dark Speed. But 500, and I tell you what, let me just go over here. So I've just hit 9 shots there with a score of 500. Now, I don't actually mind that for those overall scores with some rather squiffy balls in there. But 7 minutes to do an extremely enjoyable game that's also there to improve your game. It's actually quite fast. I'm able easily to hit 100 balls here in under an hour if I was doing something with a friend or just practicing quite quickly. What I'm noticing with Toptracer is there's a lot of very subtle positive things that you wouldn't really notice. And this is just the fluidity of Toptracer. This is something that we've paid £10 for 100 balls for, whereas you can buy things such as a SkyTrack or other personal launch monitors, and they are far, far worse in terms of their fluidity. I'm hitting a shot, and as soon as I'm turning around, this screen here is showing my ball flight. Don't have to wait 4 or 5 seconds. It doesn't show me a weird little shot tracer that's going all over the place. It's extremely straightforward to use. Now, you might think this doesn't matter at all. Those little things would put you off. If I was at a driving range and it took a while to load my ball flight, my numbers, I'd go to a different place. Is it as good as a launch monitor inside, such as a GC Quad and Trackman? No. There's a big difference there. But comparing it to other driving ranges to buy £10 worth of golf balls, well, they're going to be hard to beat. So, virtual golf, I think the most enjoyable feature for individual and also group play. We have 21 golf courses to choose from here, and these can be for any type of golfers. I think initially looking at this, I thought, well, this is for people who play golf regularly. There's courses here that are 2,800 yards. Literally, you're like placed in the middle of the fairway. So even if you're getting into the game of golf, this is very enjoyable. It also has a very nifty little putting feature, which I'll show you when we get into it. We're going to play a few holes though. What course should we do? We're actually going to go for a course that I haven't played, and we're going to go for Pinehurst number 2, and we're going to play a few holes from the tips. Let's do it. So 393 yards to start. It was actually quite cool there when it initially loaded up. You can see all the different flags that are on display here with the alignment lines. I actually forgot where I'm aiming, so I'm just going to go check. I'm aiming over that blue flag, which is good. I can change it if I wanted to hit a mean slice or a mean hook, which I've been doing today. Driver first. Oh, hideously off the heel. But I think it's straight. See, what's cool about that is that was an absolute stinker. Like you can see there, really off the heel. But what you can see initially as I turned is I can see the ball flight straight away. It wasn't a nice ball flight, but we are down the middle with 120 yards left. I'll do. Oh, it's an absolute beauty of a shot. Keep going, keep going. Ah, 10 foot for birdie. And you'd think I'm going to 2-putt that, right? It's going to be very simple. Well, in fairness, this is a really cool feature. So what you do, you don't putt it, because I don't know where I putt it from, but you chip it. And you can see here, so I've got 78 yards now lined up. If I wanted to, I could go any closer. I could go to one of these little 30-yard markers here, but I'm going to stay at the 78-yard marker. For me to get a birdie, I have to hit it within 22 foot of the pin, which is actually somewhat straightforward, but there's still a lot of work to do. So despite it only being a simple enough hole, you really have to work for your birdie or your par. Now, of course, if you're a 36 handicap golfer, this is where it comes into play, because you could thin it, whatever, and you could still make a double, a bogey, a par. I'm gonna make a birdie. Looks good. Am I in the garbage? Birdie, 6 foot again. That lesson with Todd has really helped me out. This feature is a lot of fun by myself. It makes the range practice a little bit more interesting, a bit more pressure building as well. It's not just hitting wildly, but this is a game mode I really like to do with friends. I would say I like to do it with Will behind the camera, but he's not my friend. He's my lover. And this is, I think, my favourite part of the Toptracer, because you learn, it puts pressure on you. Rather than just hitting balls randomly at flags, it makes you get better at golf. Uh-oh. Get a good kick. Oh, it's really good. 4 foot away. Oh, why am I hitting it so well with these today? SM10s are lovely. 2 rivals going head to head. Who takes the crown? Well, it's Toptracer by a decent amount. I love Trackman. I think the graphics on the Trackman ranges are exceptional. I really do actually prefer it to Toptracer, but that's where it ends. I think it's almost like it needs an update. It's a little bit too slow. When you compare it to Toptracer, Toptracer is instant when you hit a shot. When you're playing these fun little games that you have at Trackman, it takes a little bit too long. I also don't think it's as accurate, and it doesn't have as many games and functionality as Toptracer. So if I really do go head to head between these two, I think if you play Toptracer throughout the year, I think you become a better golfer than if you use Trackman. That being said though, Trackman has got a £20,000 launch monitor that is exceptional for indoor and outdoor use, but that's a lot more expensive than an £8 bucket of balls. Guys, let me know what you thought of this video. What do you think is the best thing to use at driving range? Toptracer, Trackman, something else? Let me know down in the comments, and if you are new to Golf Magic, make sure you smash that big red subscribe button too. We've got some really fun videos coming with Tour Pros and lots more. So make sure you hit that big red subscribe button to keep up to date with all of our videos. Myself, Willie Woods at Toptracer and Trackman. Well, we'll catch you at the next video.